Welcome back to the Envision Home at Last video series. I'm here today with DJ from DJ's Water Service. DJ, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
What we're going to talk about today is getting water into the house through a well. We're out in a rural setting here. So DJ, you come up to a lot, you know you got to drill a well. What's the first thing you do?
One of the first things we do is find out where the septic is located. You got to be 25 feet from the tank and 50 feet from the drain field. That's the most common things we have to stay away from. Then we look where the utility room is, where the well's going to enter the house. And we try and be on the same side of the house as the utility room.
Okay. Now, typically, I would assume that there's some sort of a site plan that gives you a little bit of direction on where we want to put that well, correct?
Correct. A lot of times when they do a septic diagram, they have to put the well on that diagram.
Okay. Now, what type of well drilling do you do? What's typical? Are you doing a drilled well or?
Yeah, we do a drilled well, 6-inch up to 16-inch.
And what determines that size?
Most residential wells are 6-inch, and when you get to the irrigation, then it's 16-inch.
Okay. Then as far as getting the water into the house, what are you taking into consideration there?
The obstacles in the yard, sometimes we have to cross power lines and all that. We try not to, but sometimes you can't avoid it. Okay,
and then the pump for the well, are those typically down in the casing?
Yep, those are down normally about 9 feet off the bottom.
Okay. And how do you determine what size pump to put on there?
Depending on how deep the well is and how many gallons per minute the homeowner wants.
Okay. And what goes into calculating that?
Most times, 10 gallons a minute will provide most houses with enough water. If they decide to go with underground sprinklers or geothermal, then it's more than likely around 20 gallons a minute.
Okay. And then as far as the pressure that's involved, what do you think about that for the house?
Typical house on a standard system will have 40-60 pressure, which means the pump will start at 40 and shut off at 60. If you go with the variable speed option, it's set at 60 psi, and when you start using the water, the pump starts and it'll just continue to run until you shut off the faucet, but it maintains at 60 pounds of pressure.
So they call that a constant pressure pump as well?
Constant pressure, yep.
Okay.
And it's just like city water pressure then.
Okay. Now, I guess as far as the size of the holding tank or the different types of pump, you also want to look at the water usage in the house, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what would that typically be? I think people think about dishwashers and tubs and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if they have all that taken into account, I guess, how do you size accordingly? Do you have to look at all those and look at worst case scenario?
For the most part, the 10 gallons a minute will handle most houses in the area. They have a high output shower or stuff like that, then that really alters the plan.
Okay. All right. Now, getting the water into the house, do you do some water testing as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you looking for there?
We test for bacteria and nitrates.
Okay. And if either one of those are found, what are your recommendations?
Bacteria, it's just retesting or chlorinate the well. Nitrates, it's recommended just to get in a reverse osmosis system.
Okay, well DJ, thanks. I think that pretty much covers everything outside with the well drilling and getting the water into the house. I appreciate your help today. If you like what you saw today, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit us on our website, envisionhomeatlast.com. We'll see you next time.